The riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me as always, co-host extraordinaire, William to my Wallace, Timothy Richardson. Tim, how you doing this week, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, I think. I had a pretty good week. It was pretty uneventful. I got caught up on a lot of stuff I'd been putting off. Did a little spring cleaning, organized my collection of towels.
I saw you there stacking them and restacking them, measuring, restacking.
Got them just how I like them, so pretty good.
Good use of time. What song have you been listening to while you fold and refold those towels, Tim?
Day in the Life.
No, what song have you been listening to? Hold on. Now I have to take a small exit off the freeway that is this show into what I trust is a cul-de-sac of sadness. Why do you listen to A Day in the Life when you organize your towel collection, you called it?
I like to try to time it so that big crescendo occurs right when I finish the job. And if I don't get it right, the job is folding and organizing the towels. But if I don't get it right, then I have to start over until I do.
And when you get it wrong, are you allowed to restart the song, or do you have to wait for the song to restart itself?
Oh, I'm not crazy, Garrett. I can start the song whenever I want. I just can't finish the folding whenever
I certainly don't want to send you into another spiral of towel folding. The last 6 hours have been hypnotically nauseating. And they look great, Tim. Let me start there. Maybe that's the important part. They look great. Don't need to touch them. But I'm curious. There does not appear to be a discernible methodology or approach to what towels go where. And again, it looks great. Please do not feel the need to change it. I'm asking, could you let me in on your process? Could you maybe help me understand how we arrived at this particular stack of folded towels that took a very, very long time?
It's a work of art, Garrett. You can't explain exactly why the piece... Think of it like the towel equivalent of A Day in the Life.
Of course. I wouldn't dare ask Mr. Lennon why he sang that note, nor would I ask Picasso why those brushstrokes are where they are. And I needn't ask you, Tim, why you lane these towels as you have. Excellent lead in to the show we have today about music. Tim, when not organizing your towels, what song have you been listening to over and over this week for this show?
I have been listening to the July 30th, 2018 country hit Whiskey Glasses by Morgan Wallen, garbage person extraordinaire. This was suggested very recently by Bernie, aka Random Album, on Instagram. But you'll find this fun, Garrett. Bernie is the owner of Joy, a 4-year-old Labrador retriever who suggested Trapped to us. We listened to Trapped because of a dog.
I remember being ordered around by a dog. I was very skeptical at first, and then you showed me the social media following, and I was suddenly compelled to listen to what that dog told us to do.
Absolutely. Just think about what good thumbs that dog must have to be able to post all those things.
I wonder if it has some sort of special paw gloves that give it thumbs, like giant metal thumbs.
Yeah, like that weird thing up the side of its leg.
I always call that the dew claw, but I don't actually know if that's what that is.
I don't think it is, because that can't possibly be a thing.
Tim, I'm curious. Do you hate this song?
Well, that's an interesting question. If you just take the song, if you don't take anything else, I don't know if I hate it. I certainly don't like it, but if you include the music video, if you throw Morgie into the mix here, I definitely hate the full package. That sucks.
Well, sure. I am not asking you to make a value judgment on Mr. Wallen. That comes later.
Yes.
Just this song. Do you hate it?
Not yet. What about you, Garrett? Do you hate this?
I think, Tim, slightly closer to the middle. I obviously don't much care for it. I feel I'm softening through this show.
Garrett, do not soften. This show
softening up.
This show needs you rock hard. No, wait.
I know, but I am feeling flaccid, Tim. It's this pop music, buddy.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Super hard to hate it. It's, nothing special. That's for goddamn sure.
I'm starting to hate this. Jesus Christ. I do not like what you're saying.
Well, maybe that's how we get there together, friend. see if you can firm things up for us as we go along. But for right now, I'm just meh it. It's
that's fair.
Very forgettable. Before we go any further, Tim, I'm curious, prior to this week, had you ever heard this before? Did you know anything about Mr. Wallen and his whiskey glasses?
I'd never heard this song. I was familiar with him only because I'd heard that he was kicked off SNL and replaced by Jack. I did end up watching Morgie's set out of curiosity and just was not impressed. I was confused because he looks like he should be playing country music. Like, he's got that down well, but it doesn't sound like it. Is this the first time this jackass has filled your glass, Garrett?
Yeah, it is. Very similar tale, same touch points. I had heard of Morgan Wallen, and only for his social mistakes, never for his music.
Fair enough.
And I, unlike you, did not seek it out.
Yeah, you're right not to.
Indeed. But something tells me this will not be the last time that we tango with Mr. Morgan Wallen. But that's a tale for another day. That's my history. That's your history. Before we can talk about the song itself, we need to understand a little bit about this young man. So take us on a journey. God, I hope it's brief. Help us understand, who is Morgan Wallen and how did whiskey glasses come to be?
Morgan Cole Wallen, who, and I know you hate it when I mention things you've suggested to me, but Garrett suggested I call him Wally, Morgie, Mowa, Moko. I like Moko. I might go with Moko.
I'm not going to deny anything you just said. I'm just going to say our listeners know what the truth is.
Right. So this guy kind of looks like the result of like an Alabama DUI. Like, if you take that entire, you're driving down the freeway and you see an Alabama DUI arrest happening, take that entire thing and jam it into some sort of transporter so you get some sort of Brundle mugshot. That's what he looks like. He kind of looks like the bemulleted American version of D. Antwoord's Watkin Tudor Ninja Jones. Like, he's still white trash garbage person, but more stateside, and he has somehow a less dumb haircut.
He is the Deep South equivalent of Zeph culture.
Yes. He also kind of looks like the Alabama version of Jeremy Renner's character from The Town.
Yeah, but with his haircut from Hawkeye.
From that's true. Yeah.
I was going to say that, speaking of Marvel films for comparison, and by the way, the Jeremy Renner one is very good. Did you ever see that first Captain America?
Oh, yeah.
The first half of the movie there where they make him a genetic small boy?
Yeah.
If you were to do that with Chris Pratt, I think you might get this guy. Oh, you do that to Chris Pratt, and then you put him in a goofy wig for an SNL sketch, and you get this guy.
Yeah, that checks out.
Matt Damon, SNL sketch, maybe?
I think you're going to really relate to this one. He looks like the dining room of a Shreveport, Louisiana Shoney's at 2 a.m. in 2008. Right?
I bet he smells like one, too.
Yeah, because that's a reference for basically only Garrett to understand. But there was a family, 2 drunk parents, 2 drunk children. One of those children was getting a pep talk because she was going to be driving the family home because she was the least drunk out of the 4 of them. And then the dad hit on a waitress by asking to drink her bath water. Shreveport's a garbage city. Yeah.
I urinated in a urinal that was shaped like a mouth.
Yeah, but that was kind of fun. Got to know what it felt like to pee in a mouth.
Yeah, but
I assume that's the only reason it could be there, right?
That's the question I'm here to ask. What in the world made somebody go, hey, I know a guy that does like wacky urinal shapes. What do you want to do for the casino? Can he do like a mouth? Like I'm urinating into a big mouth? Like
well, let me ask you this. Do you remember it was a lady's mouth, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, it was a lipstick-wearing mouth.
I mean, it was covered in piss.
Yeah.
And pubic hair. So yeah, filthy mouth.
God. Moko was born in 1993 in Sneedville, Tennessee, before moving to the big city of Knoxville. He was a musical child. He took piano and violin lessons. He originally wanted to be a baseball player, but he hurt his elbow. So we get to deal with him on this show instead of our other podcast, The Bill Simmons Show.
Correct.
Why I Hate This Album, fun fact number 309, sponsored, of course, by Snop Dogg. Bill Simmons does not exist. That's a Garrett character. He created it in middle school, and he makes a lot of money. Like a lot.
It's honestly gotten a little out of hand. Yeah. It's a lot to deal with. The puppetry alone cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, but you made a lot of money on that podcast. $7 million last year. Moko got his start on season 6 of The Voice, where he was originally part of Usher's team, but then later joined Adam Levine's team. Blake Shelton apparently wanted nothing to do with him, which is weird, and it makes me think we should definitely do Usher and Maroon 5 episodes immediately because they have worse musical taste than Blake Shelton. He obviously didn't win that season, but while he was in California for the show, he met Sergio Sanchez, who signed him to Panacea Records, and Moko released his debut EP Standalone in 2015, and then later that year he was signed to Big Loud Records. In 2017, he was the opening act on Florida and Georgia's Dig Your Roots tour. In 2018, he released his debut album If I Know Me, which hit number 16 on the Billboard 200 and would hit number 1 on the top country albums charts after being on the country albums charts for 114 weeks. It's a lot of weeks to be selling. That album featured Whiskey Glasses, the song of the week, and then after releasing that, he toured with Florida and Georgia on their Can't Say I Ain't Country tour and did an episode of WWE Raw. In May 2020...
Wait. I'm sorry. And did an episode of WWE Raw, meaning...
Watch it and find out.
I don't want to. Did he wrestle?
Watch it and find out.
Or do they have like musical guests like
right,
the later
seasons? You see this curiosity?
Of...
Listeners, do not tell Garrett the answer to this question. Nobody tell him. Nobody tell him. Watch it and find out. That's the only way you ever get the answer to that.
You're such a cunt. I'm never going to watch that.
In May 2020, Moko went to Kid Rock Steakhouse in Nashville, and he got in a yelling match with some guy in the street in front of a couple of cops and got himself arrested for disorderly conduct and public intoxication. He was then scheduled to be on SNL in October 2020, but they required 2 weeks of quarantining before being on the show, and a bunch of TikTok videos of him were posted from the week before. He went to an Alabama football game and was hanging out in Tuscaloosa and was at a house party making out with some random ladies, so they canceled it and had Jack White on instead. That performance was very good, and it features a very fun drum setup. Then Wally's makeup performance in December was bad. Real bad. On January 8th, 2021, he released Dangerous, the double album, which immediately hit number 1 on the Billboard 200. It became, and actually this is news from I believe this week, it became the first country album in history to spend its first 7 weeks at number 1. Also, his previous album, If I Know Me, re-entered the charts at number 10. So people really, really love this guy. They just love him. They love everything he says. They love everything he sings. They love everything he drunkenly yells.
Can do no wrong.
Absolutely. So on January 31st, Moko had some buddies over to his house in Nashville, and he decided it would be a good idea to throw around some N-bombs and an even better idea to get filmed doing it. TMZ released the video 2 days later. He was removed from Spotify, Apple Music, and Pandora, as well as Sirius XM and a bunch of other radio services. His label suspended his contract indefinitely. The Academy of Country Music deemed Dangerous, the double album, ineligible for the CMAs. He is still on Amazon, though. That's where I listen to this. And his sales are apparently doing even better now. I don't know if that's because people love racism or because they just are willing to overlook racism and he's not on their favorite streaming services, so they actually have to go out and buy the CD, driving up sales. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that we want the answer either.
True.
You know, Tim, if you had asked me not that long ago, I would have said very logical Malcolm Gladwell style statistical answer for you. Can't get it on their streaming service? Drive sales up. Now, it might just be there's a lot of people that are like super into racism.
The interns are actually doing research on this very topic because I have a series of Garrett videos that I'm planning on releasing if I find out that screaming horrible things on TMZ will get more listens.
What do you mean screaming horrible things? And let's be real clear, never anything like what he screams.
Oh, absolutely not. It's mostly the in conversations.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I stand by all those 100%. I do not. There's a young man.
I have one from earlier today.
Oh, shit. Stop writing those down. I'm taking your notepad.
Well, then I won't be able to because I don't understand computers. Fun why I hate this album fact, Garrett has to start my recorder thing every time we record. He has to set up my microphone.
Right. Now, in your defense, Tim, not every podcast records directly to tape first.
Well, we abide by the Jack White principle of analog is better.
Right. No matter how difficult, confusing, confusing and time-consuming and expensive. Very difficult to get your hands on tape these days. It may be.
Yeah, also poor quality.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Yeah, but you know that. You're listening.
An incredible amount of money cleaning up that audio. It's not untrue.
It's not. Anyway, let's hear some of this song.
Guy? Oh, right. I guess that was only like 2 months ago. We're there.
Yeah.
Welcome to now.
Thank you.
That was not to you. You fucking moron. Oh, you shouldn't be laughing. Why are you laughing?
When other people laugh, I also laugh. I was raised on sitcoms, Garrett. I was raised on Everybody Loves Raymond and The Big Bang Theory and all of CBS's greatest hits. They produce nothing but gold. CBS and now Paramount Plus.
Your Paramount Plus gold breaking is disgusting. They're not going to let us on the network.
Honestly, I saw a commercial for Peacock the other day, the NBC one. Mm-hmm. Why was that not accompanied by, let me see your Peacock cock, your Peacock cock?
I don't know. It's right there.
Anyway, let's listen to this song.
Start a marketing firm. Yeah, okay, so hold on, Tim. Before we get into the song itself, there is one small fact that I think is important to carry forward as we discuss this song. Did you see who the producer is for this?
Oh, yes. Joey Moi.
Definitely Moy, but okay. If that name sounds familiar, or more importantly, if it doesn't, that man is from our Nickelback episode. He would also go on to work with former country rap duo Florida and or Georgia Line.
Episodes number 34 and 24, respectively.
That can't be true.
It is true.
I don't believe you. You're so full of shit.
I'm not. Go back
and
look.
How do you know all
Florida,
the episode
Georgia Line
numbers?
Is number 24. Nickelback is 34. I know because I know all our episodes because, Garrett, I give a shit.
Yeah, I don't remember this from like day to day. It's amazing what you remember.
Yeah, all useless nonsense.
So knowing that we have producer Joey Moy from our Nickelback episode, let's get into the song, Tim. Let's have a taste first before we get into it. And we're going to talk about the video. So really, folks, just take a small break, hop on out to YouTube and watch this disaster. But if you don't have time, here's just a taste of Morgan Wallen's Whiskey Glasses.
Wear a ring without her. Don't want to hit the karaoke bar. Can't sing without her.
It's not bad.
I mean, honestly, all right, let's go brass tacks, Tim. Objectively, it's not bad.
Okay, here's the thing. This is Joey Moy's... No, that sounds wrong. This is Joey Moi's song.
It is certainly not Morgan Wallen's song.
Right. This was not written by him. None of this was.
No, not at all.
And this was written by Ben Burgess and Kevin Kaddish with some Joey Moi additions. This is garbage country, right? It's pop music with an accent. I kind of appreciate it because it's not... He doesn't rap. Well, it gets a little rappy. But
it gets a little rappy. We're going to get into the finer details of is this or is this not a rap verse?
Well, sure. But it's not overt rap, right?
Yes.
Like he's not... I agree. This isn't an accidental racist kind of thing.
No, this is a John Mayer country album.
Sure. Okay, so he's got an accent, right?
Yep.
This is also auto-tuned at parts.
Oh, auto-tuned at all parts, Tim. And at other times, because it's extra
weird.
Auto-tuned.
It's weird. You hear a country accent and you're like, well, it's obviously not auto-tuned. There's a little bit of gravel in that voice. But around the edges, he sounds like a robot.
Yes. I really want to break this down because it is fundamental to understanding the song itself and the interesting production choices made therein. It is, as Tim pointed out, and I want to be very clear, this is not hyperbole. The entire song is auto-tuned to a degree. The entire song, start to finish. Never a word isn't auto-tuned. However, and maybe even auto-tuned isn't the exact right word. It's sweetened. We'll say that. However, that's happening.
It's computerized. It's augmented.
There you go. It's roboticized. But there are then other parts where there's double tracking and possibly either just intensifying the effect or it is a vocoder on top of auto-tune. And we'll get into all of that. But my point is that this entire very popular, very country song is essentially a Kanye West mashed up with a John Mayer and Garth Brooks album?
Yeah.
Okay, actually, you know what? This might be a better analogy. Taylor Swift started as a country act.
Yes, it sounds like a Taylor Swift's early music mixed with her later music.
Yes, there you go.
It sounds like Florida Georgia Line.
Yes, but okay, here's a fun question. Is it better?
It's less ridiculous,
obnoxious.
Right? So Florida Georgia Line is like the Limp Bizkit to his Korn. He's trying to sound serious. They're not.
I get more of a country James Blunt.
Blount, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I always miss the O.
Yeah, again, it wasn't written by him. If you hear any interviews or if you read what he says about this, he definitely talks about this song like it's all in reference to his life. Like he talks about, I've had a couple of breakups like in this song, right? Okay, but you're relating to this song in the same level that I am, which is essentially as an outsider because you didn't write it. Yes, but it's also just the most cliche subject and phrasing of that subject possible for a country song. Like this was the bread and butter of country music before Hank Williams discovered that booze could mend heartbreak. And if you read down in the YouTube comments, you can really get a sense this is pop music. A ton of the comments all come at this as if it's a novel subject, which means they've never heard country music before. So they're pop music fans that are hearing this guy for the first time because he is pop, not country.
Yeah, and I think you've taken us on the long road to the big conclusion and well summarized. I think part of the reason that this guy is so mind-bogglingly popular right now is that you've got to... Maybe.
Pro-racism.
Right, maybe. We're not ruling out pro-racism. But also, I think there's just a number of people that are not country fans that are like, hey, this is not country enough that I like it even.
Right. And I think that's a huge sweet spot. That's what we got to do with that Texas toast.
This is something that we touched on early on, maybe season 1 of the show. Of course, there are seasons.
Find the delineation of the seasons.
That one doesn't work as well, but I love the effort. Find the delineation of the seasons. Oh, well, we're going to start saying it. This is that weird Venn diagram of this might be a new transition. We've talked about how fart rock, hair metal turned into broad country. And that's for the folks that didn't go down the alternative route, but didn't know where to go when rock music turned awesome. But this could be another evolution, Tim. We could be witnessing this fish crawling onto land. If we start to see multiple artists making that because before you saw a lot of people lured into country music that was much more accessible, much less country. I mean, our listeners could name 100 examples, or if not 100 more past that. This is something new. We've never seen something like this. It's evolving. It's even less country, even more pop. And I'm curious to see if this is a trend or if he's a one-off, and does he stay country or does he eventually go full pop? And I know I'm saying a lot here, Tim. Here's a question at the end. Could he go full pop? You never go full pop. Could he go full pop? Does he have a good enough voice?
No.
I don't know that you know the answer to that.
Well, that's true. Oh. You're right. But I don't think that he does, because if he had a good enough voice, and I guess that brings up, are you going more country or more pop? And clearly they're going more pop. But if you're going down a country route, if you can carry a tune well, you don't want any augmentation. You want it to be a little gravelly. You want it to be a little soulful. Uh-huh. And, if you sound like a robot, you don't have that. But there's kind of this trend in country music, and I think that it's not just country music, obviously. It's pop music. But there's this show, Songland. Are you familiar with this?
Nope.
So this is a garbage show on, I think, NBC. It's on, I think it might be on Hulu now. But basically, they bring in a band every week, Boys to Men or Florida Georgia Line or whoever other one of these pop bands, and they bring 3 people out who are their songwriters in Nashville, and they perform the song for them, and then essentially they retool it. 3 people present a song. This band ruins that song with the help of 3 producers, and then eventually the musician records it and gives them money, or possibly just gives them credits on an album. I don't know what they have to sign away to be on the show. The point is, this is what happens with this. Somebody writes a song that is essentially a country song, which is, I think, what probably these 2 guys did here. You had a song that probably had a core and identity to it at one point, and then you just had a bunch of producers just shit all over it.
That's entirely possible. I don't know, though, because if you look at the fundamental composition of the song itself, it's very bare bones. There's not a lot happening. There's some drums, guitar, but here's a keyboard, and a man connected to a robot.
Sure, but you also have, in jumping into the lyrics here, the bridge of this song, what Garrett has been referring to as the rap verse, that seems like something that a producer is just yeah, you got to have a rap verse in here. here. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you could have taken a song that was merely mediocre and winnowed it down into what we have today, which is just downright forgettable and a little embarrassing for everybody.
Yeah, well, it's not forgettable. We'll get to that.
Okay. That's about everything I wanted to say going into the song. Tim, anything else you got?
Nope.
All right. What caught my attention before I read a single lyric, we have yet another song that begins pre-music.
Yeah.
We had this one. We had The Way You Bathed in Light. So you have that. You have this one, Pour Me. And you know what the other one is, Tim? The other famous one that I've never told you about?
No.
Hey, Jude.
Well, yeah, there's tons of examples. You can do it. You know, just don't sing about dolphins.
Oh, sure. The way you bathed in light. God, I'll tell you what, Tim. In the shower, for some reason, I just start singing it every day.
Yeah, no, I get it.
No, what? No, I'm not saying the shower is bathing. Anyway, the song begins, pour me another drink, because I don't want to feel a thing no more. Hell nah. I just want to sip till the pain wears off. Pour me another round. Line 'em up and knock 'em down. 2 more, let's go, because I ain't never hurt like this before. All right, pretty generic opening. He's drinking to forget a woman whom he has lost, and has him hurting.
Whomever he has lost, one would even say.
No, they wouldn't.
This is not the only instance of this, but the pour me another drink that somebody just jerked off whenever they thought of that. Just, I did it. I'm going to be famous. And you know what? They were.
Yeah, no, it worked out great. The 2 people that wrote this have written several other massive hits. I think they just churn out this like generic Diane Warren style, like,
don't you talk
hey, here's
bad
some stuff
about Diane Warren. Her stuff is not generic. It's masterful.
Right. And she speaks to you, and you two are going to be forever together.
Well, not forever. For the rest of her life. How long could that be?
20 years?
All right, I'll do it. I'm still doing
it. I mean, you are trying fervently to marry that woman, but she has made it abundantly clear she doesn't like you. But
she didn't like Brad either.
Yeah. Oh, actually, Tim, I'm glad you brought him up. Now, I am hesitant to do this, but we've been working hard. As I mentioned a few weeks ago, hard to know, we may have jumbled up the order of these a little bit. We do have Brad back. Tim was sent away on a special mission to recover Brad. He, of course, didn't do that, lied to my face, spent all the money.
Hold on. You sent me on a mission to get Brad.
Yep.
We have Brad.
Sure.
I'd say that was a success.
Well, I would too, but I would also say I did that. You spent all the money. 2 interns, for all intent and purposes, are dead.
No, not for all intent and purposes, Garrett. They're dead. They were killed by pirates.
Okay, but you said that they would not be found in Gary, Indiana, which makes me think that they're in a fridge in the middle of a field in Gary, Indiana. But in any event, Brad is here, and we have been tirelessly working to deprogram this young man. He is not in a great state, but it's been weeks of, frankly, weeks on the platform. Those of you who recall, our training platform is used for all of our interns. We've had Brad on the platform, which is, of course, also a literal platform. Hands and feet are, in fact, bound. In any event, we've had him on the platform, re-educating him 4 weeks. And now, Tim, it's important you don't speak and you don't make any sudden moves. I'm going to have the boy come in and bring me a Diet Snapple.
Ooh.
Yep. He's going to set it down. I'm going to say thank you. And then I'm going to hope that he calmly walks out of the room.
Maybe we could have him say a few words.
Nope. We're going to work on that one thing. Okay. So please don't go off script here, buddy.
We'll see.
Don't speak to him.
I'm a loose cannon, Garrett.
I know you are, but please don't speak to him. Don't move at all. All right, Gino, could you bring in Brad to get me that Diet Snapple?
Yeah,
Brad. All right. Set her down. All right. Thanks, Brad. Hold on.
He's biting me, Garrett.
Okay. Stay calm. Don't say anything to him. Brad, I said thank you for the Diet Snapple. Brad.
I'm going to bite him back.
Do not bite him back. Tim, don't move. I'm going to get the Brad off you. But please do not acknowledge that he is biting you.
It's hard. It's hard not to.
Okay, Gino, get him out. All right.
Good God.
Guys,
that is what we have.
Went pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it did.
That's the best that's gone.
That noise is 100 times better than listening to somebody talking stupid pirate lingo.
No, absolutely. It was driving me crazy. But unfortunately, that is kind of his only communication style lately. Also, the hitting is out of hand. Hey, I want to just say a quick thank you to you, Tim. You stayed really, really calm. Those are deep bites. You are bleeding.
Yeah.
You stayed shockingly calm. I'm going to be honest. honest, I asked you to stay calm and not acknowledge it, I would not have listened to me. I'd have beaten the sense out of that kid.
Well, I have had a lot of practice withstanding slaps and other physical attacks.
Fair enough. All right. That brings us to the rap, Tim.
How do you get a Snapple and I don't? I want a Snapple.
Please don't ask him for one.
I'll get my own, but I'm going to get a Snapple.
That's fine. I can always get you a Snapple. I'm going to try my best, I think, maybe to deliver this in a way that will allow our listeners, some of you are viewers, find the feed, to make your own assessment. And of course, I'm not going to do a great job. I'm no Morgan Wallen, but I'm going to do my best, okay? And then, Tim, I want to hear from you if you think is this rapping? All right, here we go. Don't want to think about her or wear a ring without her. Don't want to hit the karaoke bar, can't sing without her. So make some drinks strong, cause brother, she's gone. Yeah.
And not the most rappy part of this song, to be clear.
No, it isn't. But it feels like there's sort of, don't want to think about her
it's
or
rap.
wear a ring without her.
You know how, like, Subterranean Homesick Blues feels like rap before rap existed?
Yes, okay.
Well, this is as far
Missing
apart
link.
from rap as that was from rap, but there is clearly a link.
Yes, okay. So maybe rap, listeners write in, hatePodMail@gmail.com, is that rapping?
It's rap adjacent at the very least, but we might get some actual rap.
Okay, we'll get there.
Let's get into some of those words, though. He doesn't want to think about this woman, so she has broken his heart. She's cheated on him or just left him, one way or the
Sure.
other. He doesn't want to wear a ring without her? What does that mean?
He can't imagine marrying anyone but her.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, it's an odd sentiment.
Yeah. Again, like you brought this up last week. If somebody doesn't want to be with you, you immediately abandon them.
Yes, I do not try to win them back.
Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't want to hit that karaoke bar without her, but wants to get blackout drunk and try to move on.
Yeah. Well, it seems like he has a very clear process for this. There might be step-by-step instructions written down. Because brother, she's gone, and if I'm ever gonna move on, I'm gonna need some whiskey glasses. And that's another thing that makes me think this is kind of rap.
Sure.
It's a rap word.
It's a rap word. Yeah, it's a rap word. That feels very much like an old man statement. Maybe it's an old white man statement.
Yeah, that feels borderline
those
racist.
rapping words.
But, it's a rap word.
It is certainly influenced by the rap culture. We can say that.
Sure.
Hip-hop, R&B. did not appear in a lot of country music.
Sure. I'm going to need some whiskey glasses because I don't want to see the truth. She's probably making out on the couch right now with somebody new. Yeah.
I want to pause there for a minute.
Sure. Absolutely.
She's probably making out on the couch right now with someone new. Would be so much better. She's probably making out on the couch right now with some strange dude. Or at least some other dude. But for whatever reason, someone new is just so saccharine sweet. Inject a little levity. For the love of God, you have no hair on the side of your head.
That's true. God, he is a fucking ninja. And by that, of course, I mean the D-Antword ninja. She's probably making out. The phrase making out makes me think that this is all just dashboard confessionally country emo nonsense because you're an adult. She's probably fucking somebody.
Yeah.
You can say it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, maybe it's the second date, Tim. Maybe they're just making out on the couch.
Well, sure. But that's not what he's thinking about. Garrett, I don't know if you've ever broken up with somebody that really just had your heart broken. You're not worried about them making out with somebody. Come on. Worried about that D.
Again, once somebody has expressed any disinterest in me whatsoever from a sexual standpoint, I am immediately repulsed by them.
I have the opposite.
Right. It's like catnip to you. Anyway.
Yeah, but my point is, if you're an adult and you're hung up on somebody and you're worried that they're with somebody new, you're not concerned that they're on the couch making out with somebody unless you're kind of a child.
Sure. No. If you, in all seriousness, if you are sitting on your couch in the fetal position, completely heartbroken, you are not worried that they might be kissing somebody else. You are worried that she is getting sealed tight by 3 giant men.
Well, no, okay. Maybe that's a little...
that's what you're worried about.
Hyperbolic. It's not what I'm worried about. That's hyperbolic.
Well, it should be.
Oh, my God.
Yep, that's what's happening, Tim. She's getting over you by getting under them and around them or whatever. Airtight. That's horrible. God. Your words, not mine.
I want to be outside of you.
Yeah, I want you clearly outside of me at all times. Ideally outside of arm's length, as are
not
our
what I
beds.
meant.
Oh, I see what you mean. Gross. God, You know what, Tim? I'm going to need you to perform at least the next 10 minutes of this podcast from your shame booth.
Absolutely not. Nope.
Get in the shame booth.
Hey. Brad's in that shame booth, Garrett. I will not go in there.
You know what? You have been through a lot today, bud. I'm going to go ahead and lift that entirely. You do not need to get in that shame booth. In fact, Gino, you get 4 pretzels for dinner. Good job getting him in that shame booth. Yeah, folks, to be clear, we feed him a full dinner. He likes pretzels for dinner, and he has very high sodium. So we keep it very restricted, but he normally gets 3 pretzels for dessert. 4, that's all.
Yeah.
We take care of our staff.
Anyway, if I'm going to make it through, if I'm going to be single, I'm going to need a double shot of that heartbreak proof and see the world through whiskey glasses. Ain't nothing else to do but sip around the truth. And see the world through whiskey glasses. I need a better view where I don't drink to you.
So, Tim, those secondary lines are almost like a robot hype man. Robot hype man. Because as he sings in a mildly auto-tuned, and see the world through whiskey glasses, then we get his hype man, who is, I think, probably just him through a different filter, going like, ain't nothing else to do but sip around the truth.
So
and see the world through whiskey glasses. And see a better view where I don't drink to you. Great.
If he had any sense, he would have Bane come on and do it. That's fun.
No, don't, you son of a bitch. You know I can't resist.
Go ahead.
Ain't nothing else to do but sit around the truth and see the world through whiskey glasses.
You know what's amazing? We'll get to this in the music video, but he has a lot of friends come and comfort him, and these are some of the douchiest people you'll ever see.
Oh,
but,
so douchey.
No, I'm just imagining, he's sitting on that couch, he's got his head in his hands, and Bane just sits down next to him and pats him on the back.
Hey there, bud. What's got you down?
I don't know, man. She just, I was on full on in love with her.
It's cool. You're here hanging out with your bros. We're going to toss back some beers, and then you're going to go perform at the bar. You'll be the coolest guy there. You'll be making all those ladies super hot.
Man, you know what, Bane? Line them up. I'm ready to party.
Cool. Let's go shoot some pool. I just got Nerfy to load up some shots. Nerfy! Morgan's back in. We've got next on the table.
So then there's a pre-chorus and a chorus, again.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
And then we get to the bridge. Garrett, do you want to do the bridge?
I'll try, Tim, but I don't know if I've got enough oxygen in these lungs. I just want to read my note before I do this because, well, it may prepare people for those of you with a pacemaker. There's no describing the bridge except I noted a light reggae beat, which is quite off-putting. That is my only note for what I'm about to do. Line them up, line them up, line them up, line them up, knock them back, knock them back, knock them back, knock them back, fill them up, fill them up, fill them up, fill them up, because she ain't never coming back. I don't remember the tune.
Well, it doesn't fucking matter. This is dumb. The point is, this gets, you're right to say it's a little reggae-y. This is kind of rappy.
Well, Tim, you didn't let me finish. Because if she ain't never coming back, line them up, line them up, line them up, line them up, knock them back, knock them back, knock them back, knock them back, fill them up, fill them up, fill them up, fill them up. Because if she ain't never coming back, another chorus. I'm gonna need some whiskey glasses
if I'm going to drink away the truth.
I mean, that's basically the song. You get more chorus, you get more outro, which is just a different part of the song that they're calling an outro.
Yeah, but that does bring us to the end of the song, which brings us to the music video.
This, first of all, has 109 million views.
That's mind-boggling because it is nothing special.
It's pretty special. This begins with a very, very weak slap.
Such a weak slap.
I mean, this had to piss you off because you are a borderline slap expert. I have to assume the director or possibly Moko was just like, you can slap me, but so help me God, if you slap me hard, I'm slapping you back.
Or maybe the first 6 takes, or maybe the first 2 girls he kept slapping back, and they're like, listen, you are the 3rd girl this week. Don't hit him hard. He will hit you back close fist.
Allegedly.
He's kind of a scumbag.
Allegedly.
Oh, sure. This is a hypothetical situation based purely on his words and actions.
Yes, and the weakness of that slap, because it was just pathetic. Anyway, a lady slaps him and walks out, and it's odd because his buddies are already appear to be in his house to comfort him.
Yeah, you got to think back to him. I think this is like a 20-year-old situation where he's got like 3 roommates, so they're not just in his living room; they're in their living room.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because it's a big house, and he's a scumbag. So scumbag's the wrong word, and I don't want to be.
Well, he is a scumbag. We can come up with an extra word if you'd like.
Dirtbag, a dirty bag.
No, He's a dirty bag.
It's not skeevy, but like his refusal to wear sleeves, his insistence on having a mullet, he's like a clean-cut mullet boy.
He's like a Shreveport Shoney's.
He's a Shreveport 8.
Accurate.
All right, Tim, you want me to take us on the patented Why I Hate This Album flyby of the video, or will you just kind of stop me as I'm going, or would you like to go tit for tat?
You can go for it.
Yeah, just stop me when I hit something that brightens your day. As Tim mentioned, we opened with a comfy slap in front of his bros, and all of his friends are hanging out, drinking, doing shots, drinking some beers. He begins immediately singing to camera. So he's singing to camera, he's walking around his house, a guitar appears, and then a good friend comes over and freshens up his mullet, which I gotta tell you, Tim, is my favorite part of the whole music video.
Absolutely.
Just a good friend comes over with a pair of clippers while he's singing a song about heartbreak and just freshens up that mullet.
Yeah, and when we say mullet, it's not really a mullet, right?
No, it's half a mullet.
It's just the sides. He's giving him the haircut that Don Mattingly ended up with on The Simpsons.
It really is. It is mullet to halfway around his head.
Yes.
It's business in the very front.
Well, it's business on the sides, like relaxing afternoon in the front, party in the back.
Yes. There it is. Business sides, business casual front, party out back.
Yes. He also, I believe, tears the sleeves off of a shirt.
Oh, sure. He gets himself a fresh new plaid flannel.
It's
those
his
sleeves
version
of
ironing, I guess. Like,
yeah,
gotta
sure.
Get the shirt ready.
You got to get it ready. Get those. Now, Tim, you and I have a good friend that did the exact same thing.
Oh,
you got to be able to guess. Yeah, it didn't take long at all. I don't think we have to bleep this.
But he seemed. I feel like it was mostly an undershirt situation with him.
It was.
It was more of an undershirt situation. Like he had sleeved shirts.
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Mm-hmm. He did have sleeved shirts, but he also had shirts that he had ripped the sleeves off.
Nice shirts. Some of them.
Some of them. Not anymore though. Anyway, freshened up mullet, brand new plaid flannel on, no sleeves. He mopes around the house till we get halfway through the song, and this is what's so special about the music video is we get a skit, a dialogue breakdown that isn't in the song.
That's right.
And as Tim mentioned, these guys, and I don't want to rag on them too hard. If we were to get Tim and I's good friends into a music video, those people suck too.
Yeah, well, that's because both my friend and Morgan Wallen's friend are Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, who's who that guy looks like.
Yeah, a little bit. Anyway, you're friends with Chad Kroeger from Nickelback?
We are, yes. Don't know how you keep forgetting that.
You can imagine how I could be forgetting that.
But he was Beck's friend, and Beck brought him over. They hung out behind the couch together. Your couch bed, actually.
That's right.
Yeah, that was who that was. That was Chad Kroeger of Nickelback fame.
They kept screaming, "Look at this photograph!"
Yeah, that's how you should have known.
Well, I thought he was doing a bit. Anyway, okay, so in this conversation, it's just brutal. Remember the conversation in the Randy Savage song where it opens with a bunch of hype about Randy? Yeah. Man, I heard he's got a new album coming out. It is the best one in all of Europe. Like, it's that kind of acting. Hey, what are you so beat up about, man? Man, I thought I loved her. Don't worry, dude. The Bane speech I did just a moment ago. It's this guy vapidly trying to cheer him up.
It is, but it's awkward. It's stilted acting.
Yes.
He's just like, man, you'll be the coolest guy at the bar. And Moko is like, well, as long as you're there, I'm not going to be the lamest. These guys are fucked.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
There's an energy.
There is an energy. This is a believable interaction, right? Everything about their conversation was clearly like they wrote it 10 seconds before this and they're just trying to remember it. They're kind of going up a little off script and that's throwing both of them off. But there's chemistry there.
There's an energy for sure. Garrett, I don't want to jump to the end just yet.
This guy has gotten his mullet stuck in the other guy's goatee.
You can't just say that.
Allegedly. Sorry.
Thank you. God. You know better.
Fucked.
Yeah, totally. Somebody's been inside somebody. There's an energy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, it continues on. You already read the worst line of the whole thing about being the lamest. He continues to wander around the party a little bit. We get some what I called Morgan Cam.
Yeah.
Where this was super popular in the late 90s, early aughts movies where they put the steady cam on the chest of the subject so that you remain on the same plane at the entire time.
He's pretending to get progressively drunker, but he's a bad actor. actor, so he just kind of looks tired.
Yeah, he looks like he's confused and might have gas.
Yeah, he looks. He's got like a Tucker Carlson face. You know that thing he does when he like pretends he doesn't understand something. That like
where he's bemused and flabbergasted at what you're saying.
Yeah, he does a little bit of that.
You're telling me everybody needs a home? You don't want anybody outside,
right?
Okay.
Then why do they call them the homeless, Garrett? You stupid asshole.
I'm not sure what you're arguing for. Anyway, they transition to the bar where things actually get pretty normal. Morgan goes up on stage. He sings this song, and I didn't really make any keynotes about the performance from that point on. It wraps up, but then at the end, Tim, he and his buddy from earlier, his lame buddy, head on out back, and they do this thing that you only see in bad commercials for gum and some TV teen dramas. They do the arm around each other, but it's, first of all, nobody does that. If you do, it's at least reasonable. If you watch the video, and you see this all the time, it's just nerves and poor blocking. He goes all the way in and he hooks. So the neck is in the crook of the elbow. And if anybody does that to me, they will find themselves on the ground soon because you have engaged in warfare.
Absolutely. That's why I never do that. I go around the waist, hand in your front pocket.
Oh,
because that way you're kind of stuck. Like, you know, you can get away, but like, you're going to have to do some damage to my hand to get away. Yeah,
which I'm completely okay with.
Well, sure, but it's difficult. I got a tough wrist.
Yeah, really creeps me out when you slink your arm around my waist and stick your hand in your pocket, in my pocket, while you whisper, "Here comes the adder." Oh, God, you might need to move out.
I've got a house that technically I own.
Yes, the house. Or, you know what, maybe we just need a bigger apartment.
No, because then it's going to get like Willard Smith and that other gentleman in their raps. It's not going to be as good.
Well, sure. No, Wilfred Smith did teach us.
It's Willard.
Is it?
It's Willard, yes.
Oh, I thought it was Wilfred.
No, that would be adorable.
Anyway.
It's still adorable.
Will Smith taught us that, yes, if you do separate yourself from your Jazzy Jeff, as I would definitely agree that you are that for me.
Man, I am jazzy.
Yeah, right, because of the gloves. But if you get too far away, you lose your creative synergy / one of you may get killed by a knockoff Freddy Krueger.
It's a going concern.
Sure is. At least in this house. I'm just saying, Tim, like right now we're rocking a good, in the living room, we can't count the bedrooms since they're filled with interns. Well, you're saying we're about 200 square feet in the living room, right?
Sure.
I'm just saying let's add another 100 square feet.
I'm saying let's slash 50.
Okay.
Like we'll just
tighter
brick it
is
up.
What you're saying. Brick it up. Casca Amontillado that shit.
You know what? Here's a thing. Put an intern in there. Brick that up.
Well, that's murder, which you've said is murder.
No.
Once again, something you've proposed on this show casually and without concern, and in all seriousness, I do think, is murder.
Well, maybe it wasn't serious then.
Maybe something that's not alive, or if it has to be, maybe like a plant. We could put a cactus back there.
All right. With that intern. Give him something to hang out with. Anyway, that's pretty much the video.
Oh, he does see his ex flirting with a new guy at the very end, and he laughs it off as he goes home with his lover.
Right. The goatee man.
Allegedly. Tim, how'd this do?
Really well, Garrett. This was
love racism.
Certified quadruple platinum in the U.S., quintuple platinum in Canada. It hit number 1 on both the U.S. and Canadian country charts, although only number 17 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. It was the best-selling country song in the U.S. in 2019, according to Billboard. It was the 52nd best-selling song overall in 2019. It was ranked number 24 on the U.S. Hot Country Songs for the decade, which I think means it was the 24th best-selling country song from 2010 to 2019.
That's amazing. And we heard about him in late 2020 when he started to make an asshole out of himself.
Yep.
Okay. What do people think of it?
There are 302 total ratings on Amazon, 4.8 out of 5 stars on average, 89% 5-star, 1% 1-star, and none of them are particularly good. But I went to YouTube, Garrett.
Oh, no.
Ivan Ray Nguiano said, "My 3-year-old is a huge Morgan Wallen fan. Told the wife we should let him grow a mullet."
You definitely should shave your 3-year-old child's hair into a mullet because who cares? That's hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't have to go to work.
Yeah. And here's the thing. If you're in college, college, you can also have a mullet because no one cares.
Tim proved that theory. God, you looked great. You probably don't still have those photos, do you?
I may have them somewhere. This was before photos were on phones because I'm very old.
Right. If you can find those, you should just take a photo of the photo and put it on the gram because you looked incredible.
Yeah, I have a real face for a mullet.
It's the first person I've ever seen get a mullet as a joke, and I honestly replied with, "That looks really good. You should make that your hair."
Yeah, but here's the thing. You were also a very bad friend and continue to be to this day, so I can't trust you.
Disagree.
Joseph Bass said, just found out my girl been whoring around on me since a year after we got together. It's been almost 6 years since we've been together. Trust is something I no longer have.
What? What is... Oh, it's a breakup song. Okay. I was like, you should tell a therapist that, not a Morgan Wallen song.
Parvis Gaming said, that's not a real name. Me and my ex broke up a couple months ago. I knew her for almost 6 years. She told me 3 times that she felt like we couldn't last, like she couldn't see us together forever. She dated to get married one day, and I'm the same way. But I tried everything to make her not think like that, you know? So after the 3rd time, I ended it on the thought that I didn't want her to torture herself, even though I didn't want it to end. Then 3 weeks after we break up, she's with another guy, and that guy was a friend, quote unquote, that she told me about before. I later found out she was talking complete shit about me behind my back, saying I hit her, treated her like garbage, and criticized her over everything. She was saying this crap to my cousins, which one of them was her best friend, and now I have some kid BF trying to fight me because he believed everything that was said. I did everything for her and would have took a bullet for her. After battling my depression and scares after battling
hold on. This is a Morgan Wallen video, right?
After battling my depression and scares for 3 months, this song made me feel like I could finally take the next step and get out of the ditch I was stuck in.
God, please tell me there's no more.
Yes, sir, said. As I was waiting for this video to load, I saw a video of a lady rolling her eyes as she looked upon a snowman that I assumed represented Christmas. This is where we're at. My family fled communist rule to appreciate freedom, and now children of those who risked their lives to provide for them are now begging for communism in America. Like my father and his brothers, I will die defending freedom. That's more of a review of a video that he misinterpreted that I believe was the ad that played before this.
Yeah, I do think he is describing an ad where a woman is rolling her eyes at a snowman.
Yes, that he assumed represented Christmas, because this is where we're at, Garrett. His family fled communist rule to appreciate freedom.
No, you cannot read this whole thing again.
Okay, all right. One last one, Garrett. This is by Joel Dan, who said simply, this is how I imagine the U.S.
That guy's a prophet. Great, terrifying reviews. You know, next time maybe just don't go to YouTube and we'll call this segment off for a week.
Never.
God. Who's this for, Tim?
This is for America, Garrett. Like Joel Dan said, this is who we are and this is what we get.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Then that brings us to final thoughts. Oh boy. Tim, what have we not said here? Any revelations?
I like it less than I did when we started, but yeah.
This is going to be a tough one. I'm going to stall for a moment. Really think it through before I ask the big question, because man, I'm really struggling. All right, here we go. Tim, do you hate this song?
I'm moved a bit toward hate. However, if I'm being completely honest, I do hate the video. I hate the stupid snippets of conversation in the video. I hate his douchey friends. I hate him. I hate the song a little, but I really hate him. I hate the music video. I don't think, if we're sticking just to the song, I don't think I hate it. If we're going with the experience of the week, the video, the guy, the history, the song, the YouTube, I love the YouTube comments. The rest of it, I think I hate it in totality. If this song just came on the radio, I had no idea who it was. If you ask me if I hate it, probably not.
No, it's Matchbox 20 Country.
Yeah.
Matchbox Country.
Yeah. What about you? Do you hate this?
No, I'm right there with you, Tim. It's just forgettable. I did inch closer. Man, I'm on the cusp. I really dislike it.
You heard it here first, folks. March 2021, both Garrett and I, strong Morgan Wallen fans. We like everything. The whole package.
What is wrong with you? You were just sinking this podcast week after week. Great job, Tim. Almost until the end part. Then you did a terrible job. That brings us to listener mail. Do you want to go first, or would you like me to?
I can go first. This is from Panda. So this is an email in response to the Dolphins Cry episode, and a lot of your dolphin-related facts fun facts? Your fun dolphin facts?
I don't remember any dolphin fun facts, but sure.
I actually worked at an aquarium with dolphins for 3 years. I definitely could go the rest of my life without questions about dolphins and sex with humans. It was about as common as kids asking about how they splash. Dudes could not get enough of that. My favorite example was a random guy, "Where do you work?" Since I just got off and was wearing my shirt. I explained a little bit about the aquarium, and then he asked if I've seen the episode of King of the Hill where Hank gets molested by a dolphin. I say yes, followed by, "Can you add some pico de gallo to my quesadilla?" Because I couldn't order Moe's that day without hearing about dolphin bestiality. To answer your question, a dolphin narwhal can hang themselves because their pectoral fins, flippers, one on the side, are not long enough. There is also no evidence that a dolphin has actually killed itself ever, and that rumor was started by the guy who actually trained dolphins for the TV show Flipper, now that he is fiercely anti-aquarium. A narwhal's horn is actually a tooth that they use to smack down prey they want to eat. Their life is too awesome for them ever to be suicidal. The female narwhals are bad bitches and sometimes have 2 of those horns. Now, this is where I have a real issue, because if you have 2 horns, you're not a goddamn sea unicorn. You're just like a sea goat or
sea deer.
Yes, that's bullshit. No one wants your garbage sea deer.
There's nothing magical about that.
Yes. Anyway, I hope I answered your questions and some you didn't ask but got a good laugh from. And since Garrett always asks for listeners to describe if they make love listening to episodes of your show, I'm not going to do that. But you better believe that I'm going to ask my husband, who was totally introduced to me by Fred Durst, if he wants this rose garden of trust later. Gross. That's gross. So that's Panda's rebuttal to Garrett.
I don't really, I don't know that I don't remember that episode, as we've already established. I cannot recall anything that's ever happened on this show, but I thought we were talking about them being murdered, executed. Not, I guess we did talk about dolphin suicide.
Both. So you discussed the dolphin or narwhal suicide, and we also discussed if it was possible to hang a dolphin and how adorable it would be if you had an octopus or crab with an executioner's hood.
Right, and then several people sent in photos.
Well, not they photos, drawn let's be clear.
No, that's true. Yeah,
but they did send instructions on how possibly you could wench up a dolphin or a narwhal with maybe some extra rope. So maybe, Panda, take a look at the Instagram drawing and see if you can point out any flaws. Don't do that. It's just going to make you sad that somebody drew a device to hang a dolphin. Garrett, do you have any mail?
Stop. Now I'm certain this is happening on purpose. I have mail. The segment's called Listener Mail. We each read one email. You are the one that sometimes doesn't have mail.
Right. So I know that sometimes one of us doesn't have mail.
My listener mail is from Greg. Greg writes, "Hello, insert name beginning with T here and insert name beginning with G here. What's new with you guys since we last spoke? Since we last spoke, I got a new puppy. Also, we've actually never spoke. I think you guys have gone far too long without doing a ska album. Please do something by the Aquabats. If you're feeling particularly brave and or masochistic, do their 3rd album, The Aquabats versus the Floating Eye of Death. If you're feeling just normal levels of brave and or masochistic, do their 2nd album, The Fury of the Aquabats. As always, I love you both and can't wait to speak again, Greg." Greg, great email. Love that misdirect. I'm sitting there listening. I'm reading. Tim's listening. I'm reading.
I was going through my Rolodex.
One of us is listening. The other is reading. What'd you say?
I was going through my Rolodex looking for a Greg that I knew. I don't know that many Gregs.
When did we talk to a Greg? I thought it might be Marvel's Clark Gregg.
Well, that's stupid.
Agent Coulson.
But I get a lot of... I always remember a puppy, and this guy has a new puppy. So you'd think I'd remember that.
Yeah, either Clark Gregg didn't tell us about his new puppy, or we don't know this guy.
Right.
Anyway, Tim, so the reason this is not that exciting of an email, except for the fact that he brings up a very good point. We haven't done any ska for a while.
That's true. And it's especially good because we have that ska intro song.
Right.
We could use that.
We could use the ska intro song. And I mean, do you remember how titillated you were when we got that one ska and 100 gex?
I was. Mm-hmm. Evan Grimes, he did the ska version. We're going to use your song, Evan.
All right. You don't need to give him credit just yet.
Well, we're probably going to forget to use it, so here's your credit. You made one.
Nice.
Great. We've heard it before. It's played on the show. Sounds like Sublime. Pretty good.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my email. That brings us to music news of the weird.
Music news of the weird.
Tim, would you like to go first, or would you like me to?
I would like to go first.
Hit it.
Garrett was in Austin on February 24th, 2021, as was Tim, and nowhere near Los Angeles, California. I, Tim Richardson, can attest to this in court under penalty of perjury. However, on that night, Leyden Skaga's dog Walker was walking 3 of her possibly prize-winning bulldogs outside, and somebody shot him in the chest and stole Koji and Gustav. The dog Walker survived, and Leyden's offered a $500,000 reward. The dogs were returned by a lady. The hole in the wall of our living room, bedroom, kitchen area was repaired. It is unclear if the lady that gave her the dogs back got money or if she is now a suspect. The shooting suspect is still at large, and Garrett Harvey was at home with me, Tim Richardson, on the evening of February 24th, 2021. He was not shooting anyone in the chest, and if he was shooting chests, they were Texan chests.
Okay, I didn't love that story, and I'm going to tell you why. A lot of the way you framed that made it seem as though many people might think that I shot Lady Gaga's dog walker.
No. I'm saying you didn't. No, right. I mean, we don't need to say it, I don't think.
Well, right, exactly. Could have left it out of the story entirely. I am not part of the story.
Garrett.
Also, I noticed that you mentioned how our wall has been fixed.
I think maybe I copied and pasted that to the wrong part.
Right. But around the time you mentioned the $500,000 reward getting paid, you also mentioned that we got the wall fixed.
I don't think so.
I think that's exactly what happened. I think I know what you're doing and I don't like it.
I don't know.
Well, in an unrelated story, let me just be really, really clear. I didn't shoot anyone in the chest.
Right. That's what I said.
Uh-huh. I'm just saying it.
Right. Because you were at home with me on the night of February 24th, 2021. We both have an alibi. We are each other's alibi.
Tim, well, I shouldn't probably ask that. You know what? I'm going to go lawyer on this one and just not ask the questions I don't want to know the answers to.
Your lawyer is Gino.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. Garrett, do you have an accusatory story for me?
No, I have real news. You son of a bitch.
That was news. Mine was news.
Wrapped in an accusation.
All right.
Accusation taco.
Ooh, I like that.
In Britney Spears news, Tim, Britney's father, Jamie, more specifically, Britney's father's attorney, has finally come out to defend the legal conservatorship that this podcast and allegedly some documentary has brought to the public's attention. They released the following statement, and I think it's very, very interesting and quite telling, so I'm going to read it in full. Quote, "I understand that every story wants to have a villain, but people have it so wrong here," said Jamie's attorney, Vivian Lee Thoreen, Thursday during a virtual appearance on ABC News' Good Morning America. She went on, "This is a story about a fiercely loyal, loving, and dedicated father who rescued his daughter from a life-threatening situation. People were harming her, and they were exploiting her. Jamie saved Britney's life. He has collaborated with her to help her regain custody of her children. He has brought her finances back from disaster, and he's created a safe environment for her to live her life the way she wants, away from the media that has caused her so much pain." Really interesting bit in the last part. A safe environment for her to live her life the way she wants. She's not an orangutan.
Right. Well, it does seem like she is in some sort of enclosure.
Right? Like there's that one camera right by the front door that she dances at every day.
Well, this is starting to add up.
Oh my God. I mean, we started it, Tim. I guess we're going to have to fire up the social media engines again. #FreeBritney. However, I do bring this up for a few reasons. One, that statement by that lawyer is gross. Two, I have yet to watch the documentary. I'm saving it because I think it's going to have to be an episode of this show. But, and it wouldn't be this show if we weren't horrifically late to the party. However, I will say, much like most things, this is probably far more complicated than anybody's giving it credit. And she's definitely in need of assistance, right? We all kind of agree on that.
I don't think we should get the, I guess there's no other way to say that, rifles and storm the proverbial castle to free her, if that's where you're going with this.
I wasn't.
I get it. I get the urge. We will all want to be the hero here. I think we should just let the courts do it. I know it sucks, man. I know you want to save her.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like free Britney so much as like change Britney's conservatorship. Like just put it in the hands of a doctor and a financial institution and they'll do just fine.
Oh.
Like not her dad though.
Yeah, he seems like a monster. Also, he has the same name as her younger sister and it makes me confused.
Yeah, I wonder if she's Jamie Jr. I've always wondered that. Anyway, Tim, what else you got?
Jeju.
Hi there, Jeju.
Billie Eilish.
Knock it off, Zeke.
Billie Eilish, pop superstar sensation and apparent older guy dater, was recently featured in her own documentary, Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry. In said documentary, it was just kind of casually mentioned that Brandon Quentation Adams, he likes to be called Q as his stage name, and also maybe on 4chan, that might be Q, guys, was a
his stage name is not Q. He likes to be called Q in real life, Tim. His stage name is 7amp.
Oh, that's true.
His Brandon, a.k.a. Q, a.k.a. 7amp.
Right. Okay. So he is the Q that you know, and also the artist that performs as 7amp. Good to know.
Yes.
Anyway, 22-year-old adult male who was dating Billie Eilish when she was 16, which I guess was fine in the 60s when everyone was in black and white, but it's a little fucking weird in 2018. There's a montage that shows them holding hands at her 17th birthday at an ice skating rink, and she talks like a child. Just, he's so fine. Oh my gosh. And shortly after this, they break up, and you get quotes from her that sound very adult. I just wasn't happy, and I didn't want the same things he wanted, and I don't think that's fair to him. I don't think you should be in a relationship super excited about certain things that the other person couldn't care less about. And I think that's really telling, because of course she was really excited about things he couldn't care less about. She was essentially a child. She was just got a driver's license, and he's a 22-year-old adult man who, and I'm not saying this, Twitter is saying this, grooming adjacent.
Yeah, though they're outright calling him a, quote, groomer.
Yes, because again, he was an adult and she was not an adult. This reminds me of that, the Good Charlotte guy, the Joel Madden, when he dated Hillary Duff and she was 16 and he was 25. And that wasn't cool, but her mom announced it in an issue of 17 magazine because she doesn't have her daughter's best interest at heart. And Garrett, I'm not a parent, and I know that I take up enough of your time that you cannot be involved in the lives of your children, allegedly. But if I had a 16-year-old and she brought her 22-year-old boyfriend to her ice skating birthday party, I'm pretty sure I would scar that face up to the point that she would lose interest.
Yeah, rear naked choke, drag him out right off the ice.
Now, scar his face.
Listen, what you want to do with those ice skates in his face after I knock him out is
I can just use the ice skate. We'll do that. I was going to use fire.
God.
What other news do you have, Garrett?
Well, Tim, sad news. T.I. will not be returning for Ant-Man 3.
That is sad.
Yeah, some sources are saying that he was never slated to return to the picture and that the script just didn't call for his character. However, other people are speculating that it could have something to do with the 6 women that have accused T.I. and his wife Tiny of drugging, kidnapping, and raping them over the past 16 years.
Now, that doesn't really square with the man who saved Scott Stapp to me.
Well, don't go mounting too heavy of a defense yet. I will not detail all of the allegations. They are horrible, and if true, we of course want justice for the people that are victims of this abuse. However, one of these accusations caught my eye, and it is very appropriate for Music News of the Weird, so I am going to read it in full. One woman alleges that in September of 2005, she and a friend were drinking in a Los Angeles club with T.I. and his wife Tiny. They all later moved the party to a hotel, and the woman alleges that Tiny gave her a drugged drink. Then T.I. gave her a massage and attempted to put his foot in her vagina in the hotel room.
I'm sorry?
He gave her a massage?
Go on. That's not my sticking point.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it and attempted to put his foot in her vagina in the hotel room that caught your ear?
There it is. Do you think
stood out to me
to the ankle?
Don't know.
Or is he just dipping a toe in?
It's not okay.
I know this is horrible, but also like, what?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm reading it. She refused, and the next thing she remembers was waking up naked on the couch. T.I. and Tiny have released a statement through their lawyer emphatically denying all of this and declaring that once an investigation is conducted, that they will be proven innocent and no charges will be filed. We'll see, Tim. We'll be watching closely, but like I said, we certainly want justice for any victims that might be involved here, especially if somebody did in fact try to put put their foot in this woman's vagina.
Absolutely. And if they need a replacement for T.I., they could go back to Terrence Howard. He dropped out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to develop a new form of math.
Right, that he also refers to as his own language.
Well, yeah, and that's fair. Terrence Howard's real crazy, but he could be in your movie.
Yeah, he'll definitely be in your movie. He'll say some fucking crazy shit, though, so careful. And he's got a temper, and he may hit women. Allegedly.
And he knows math that no one else knows. He invented new math.
No, he didn't.
Well, he did.
Well, sure, yeah. You can call whatever you want math, I guess. Well, you know what? I don't think you can. Anyway, what else you got, Tim?
So in K-Way and Kim Carr are still getting divorced and may have already gotten divorced because he is a jackass and she is probably not the most fun to live with, but it's probably mostly his belief that he is some sort of reincarnated Jesus figure news. K-Way moved out of their house and they seem to have completely split up. I found the most interesting part of this because he moved 500 of his pairs of sneakers out of their house. So the way it's phrased, as far as I can tell, he picked his top 500 pairs of sneakers and moved those out of the
first.
House. Yes. Do you think he's paying the Sunday service people in shoes because they sued him?
No, I guarantee you he's not paying for most of the shoes that he has.
That's true.
He's being given those shoes in most instances because he's goddamn Kanye West. If he's wearing them, other people are going to buy them.
I think I have good taste in running shoes.
You have good taste in functional running shoes.
Yes.
You have terrible taste in kicks.
My shoes look delightful, Garrett. I've got a pair of bright yellow shoes. I've got a pair of bright orange shoes. I've got a pair of shoes that have a lot of padding and I've got a pair of trail running shoes, Garrett. Right.
Again, very functional shoes.
Yeah.
Very functional.
Like
talking about kicks, Tim.
Got a pair of bike shoes. Maybe that could be a new trend.
No, all right.
Because it's got the cleat on the bottom of it, and so you're always walking funny, and you're always wearing that cleat down if you're walking in concrete.
This is terrible.
Seems like something rapists would buy.
That is a fad I would wholly embrace in the rap community.
Anyway, Garrett, do you have any more news?
I do. In coming soon to our show news, Corey Taylor has lent his rapping talents to a new band to me known as Moonshine Bandits.
Now, hold on. Corey Taylor, this is Slipknot?
Yes.
Okay.
He has lent his rapping talents to Moonshine Bandits, Live the Madness, the latest single from the outlaw country hip-hop duo. The outlaw country hip-hop duo has guest rappist Corey Taylor.
Just somebody email us this as a recommendation because I'm never going to remember this, but I want to do this.
It's burned into my brain, Tim, because the Slipknot and, to the lesser known, Stone Sour vocalist also appears in an accompanying music video alongside his wife Alicia and her dancing cabaret crew, the Cherry Bombs.
I'm just going to throw this out there, Garrett, before you go any further.
Sure.
Stone Sour, underrated band. They're pretty good.
Nope. What? Are you trying to antagonize me?
Yes,
what's happening?
Garrett, always. That's why I do the hand in the pocket thing.
That's not why. Yeah, so Tim, I watched this music video, not in full because I got about 30 seconds in. And today, I told you I was just quite soft, flaccid through the whole thing. I was rock hard. We've begun recording multiple songs under the country rap hip hop duo Texas Toast, and some of them are facetious. We are making some fun of Florida Georgia Line. Tim, Moonshine Bandits makes Texas Toast look like Yo-Yo Ma. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like Insane Clown Posse stripped the makeup and became a country band.
Oh, yeah. Super in.
It's going to blow your mind. You're going to think it's fake. Anyway, and now it's also got Corey Taylor, so it's just horrible. I can't wait. Yeah. Tim, you got anything else?
Nope.
All right. My final story tonight is a personal one. In writing a letter to every network once a day for 17 years does in fact worked news, I am happy to announce that Frasier will be returning to the Paramount Plus network thanks almost entirely to the efforts of this show.
I was excited to hear this as well. Garrett, I wish, what is it, John, what is his name? John
Mahoney?
Yeah, it makes me sad that John Mahoney died. He's
Absolutely.
a great man.
He would have been 93, so a touch unbelievable.
Nah, he would have been up for it.
Oh, absolutely. I just don't think it would have been a good idea.
No.
That's a very old man.
Yeah, you could just keep him in the chair.
That's true. Just keep him in the chair. I'll tell you what, Tim, I don't know how deep you go into the Frasier run. I celebrate the entire sitcom.
Yeah, I watched Garrett, this is my sitcom.
I'm sorry.
This is, well, you know how some people they're like office heads and some people like Parks and Recreation, and my mom's super into Schitt's Creek right now. That's weird. That's 100% true. God, that's weird. I love Frasier.
I mean, I also love Frasier. Don't get me wrong. But I'll tell you what I don't love. Daphne's fiance in those later seasons.
Yeah.
He's like a lawyer, I think.
Yeah. Short chubby dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, she ended up with David Hyde Pierce, so.
I'm a bit psychic. I love that show. Anyway, so looking forward to that. We'll, of course, fire up the classic Why I Hate This Album spinoff podcast, Why I Love This Frasier. That's where we just celebrate every episode every week and talk about how much we love it. Tim, that brings us to my favorite part of this episode, where you're going to tell me what album we're going to be listening to for an entire week. I bet it's going to be a good one.
Yes, it is, Garrett. As monster and sadist Joe suggested, DC Talk's Jesus Freak from 1995. Garrett, this features the song, the hit single Jesus Freak, as well as the song, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, Colored People.
You are decidedly not.
We're going to have a difficult time. That would be fun. Let's bleep it.
Oh, that's a lot of bleeps. Because I'm going to tell you right now, folks, that's a 13-track album, and I don't plan on spending any time on the other 12. I want to know what in the world that song's about.
Yeah.
I've never heard this before. I have no idea what it is other than Christian adjacent. Do you have any other frame of reference?
Christian rap rock, and I'm predicting I will win Garrett over to both Jesus and Cowboy next week. His eternal soul will be riding the range with American Jesus.
I don't even know where to begin with that statement.
Wearing Wranglers.
That brings us to the end of the show. As always, if you can, folks, please rate, review, subscribe wherever it is you find our podcast. You can go to hatepod.com to get every episode we've ever done. You can also click on Contact Us in the upper left-hand corner and ask for an email. That's just so we can reply. We don't do anything else with it. You can also just email us directly at hatepodmail@gmail.com, and we want to hear from you. You can reach out to us on Twitter at albumhatepod, or myself, G Harvey Tweets on Twitter, or you can reach out to us on Instagram. That's just hatepod. You can go to facebook.com/hatepod, but that'd be a pretty big waste of time because we lost the password and we don't care. Who is on Facebook? Nobody. Your grandmother. You can also get on our Discord server. You can go to our subreddits. Again, still, Tim, I don't believe we are on Wikipedia. I don't understand what's taking so long. We very much exist. What did I leave out, Tim?
You can attempt to follow me on Instagram at TE Richardson, but I have a private account and I will not let you follow me.
He's lying. He'll totally let you follow him.
Oh, I banned everyone.
Okay, okie dokie. For Why I Hate This Album, I have been your much more accessible host, Garrett Harvey.
I have been your apparently less accessible host, Tim Richardson, and on August 29th, 2014, Garrett Harvey, your accessible host, said, "All I have is more questions about his penis lizard."
I stick by that.
Penis lizard.
I don't know what I was talking about.
Penis lizards.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. Well, I joined the Navy. I got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. I try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is the genius got it wrong. Well, it's a lobster murder sex thing, the bleaching of her hair, full of salt on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides, the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now the week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.